Are we recording?
We are recording, yeah.
Let's do a quick sound check here. This morning, this video is pertaining to a news story I saw earlier. 17 major retailers across the country have discontinued a particular brand of Thai coconut milk. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Nobody knows how. It's like it's. I want to say chamuth, but I may be mentioning somebody else's name. I'm not sure. But this coconut milk from Thailand has been associated with monkey labor. You can't laugh at this stuff, Brian. Monkeys. It's truly a huge problem because the whole time in this video that I'm about to play right now, these monkeys look hilarious while they're. I don't want to be laughing at slavery in any form.
So they're like, this is like too hard on the monkeys. We should make people do it.
I think that's the logic. If you're banning coconut milk because you think it's slavery to these monkeys, boy, do I got a fucking little secret for you when I tell you where real milk comes from. That is literally chaining a cow down, getting it pregnant.
Yeah, shoving a robot dick in its pussy.
And just continuously milking its udders till the point they're bleeding and chapped.
Yeah. It's so interesting. It's just how you negotiate. Like, it's like, is your animal cute?
Yeah, is this a cute animal? Could describe this monkey as cute?
No, this monkey looks like he has like a Roy Orbison pompadour on his head. He has demon red eyes.
I'm telling you, if I saw this monkey, my immediate instinct would be to put a chain around its neck and make it, and hold dominion over it.
It has demon eyes and like Irish red fur.
Yeah.
It's like a ginger.
It has a vampire's haircut.
Yeah.
Like it's got a weird widow's peak. For some reason, the top of his head is a different color. It's a very horrifying monkey.
It honestly looks like there's cow shit on his head.
Yeah, it's not the best looking monkey. So this monkey apparently is the monkey that's often used for slave labor, regular practice that occurs in the coconutting industry. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason you might be wondering, what are they doing with the slaves? Are they working in the factories?
Mm-hmm.
So the way it works is the monkeys climb up the trees. They pull the coconuts down. You don't want to climb up the tree yourself. It's a lot of work.
They don't have like equipment for that, like what we have for like the power lines, like the bucket on a.
Well, they have equipment for it, but that equipment is this primate. So, anyways, PETA put together this video. It's very controversial.
PETA produced.
Let's go ahead and take a look at
Some
this.
Some retailers continue to sell coconut products made from coconuts picked by monkeys, despite a PETA expose on Thailand's coconut industry.
Very dramatic music. All these guys dropped it, by the way. Everybody that named Costco, Target.
Anti-government.
Okay, that is
covering up and
truly so funny. And I'm not trying to laugh at this.
It's a monkey on a leash walking in circles. That's cute.
It looks like a circus or something.
Yeah.
If I was doing this, I would charge people an additional fee to come watch.
How many percent of the farmers in this area do you think use the monkeys?
Wait, hold on. Is that guy disguising his voice? Or is that how he actually? Wait, was that an actual monkey talking?
I can't tell what that voice was because it was not human in any capacity.
Yeah, or he was like it sounds like when a black comic does an African accent where he makes his voice sound like this.
I think that's what happened. I think it was an African.
They got Ari Spears,
so they
do an impression of the guy.
They got a person from Africa who has an accent when he speaks English, and then they warped his voice so it sounded even more bizarre.
Okay, he sounds like Darth Vader.
It sounds like you're at a African open mic and somebody's doing an impression of Darth Vader.
I am your father.
And you're like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
For crying out loud, we're at a coffee shop in Lagos.
Yeah, we're in Zimbabwe.
we're not in New York.
My mic stand is made out of bamboo.
But that means all the farmers, if you ask them, they say we don't use monkey, but they use monkey secretly.
This is not okay. This is not okay.
And how the people climb really high. But when they go, not the same car. When come back, not the same car.
Don't monkeys climb trees all day when they're not chained?
Yeah, I think this is where I'm starting to have a bit of a tough. I mean, look, this is a horrifying image that they've sort of frozen over.
Yeah, they froze on an image of a monkey who's like climbing a tree with a coconut in his hand, and he's got like a very taut chain around his neck.
He's got a chain, and you can tell he's thinking something tragic in the moment. Like he's not in his right mind right here. So.
But a monkey in his right mind is very annoying.
This is what I'm talking about. I mean, oh, you mean I stopped this guy from throwing shit at another monkey?
Masturbating on my head or whatever?
And gave him a job?
Reported that monkeys are still being used and that they can...
Damn, they get a lot of coconuts, dude. We're looking at a huge pile of coconuts.
I mean, quite frankly, we're looking at so many coconuts that I'm thinking Bryan and I should get a couple of monkeys.
I know.
And on this podcast.
Also... zero carbon footprint on this process.
Completely. I mean, dude, let's
carbon free.
Bryan and I are about to book a flight to Thailand for the first honorable reason that I've ever heard, to be completely honest with you. There's no... Here's how fucked up tourism is to Thailand, that if Bryan and I were on a plane as the only white guys on the plane, or with the rest of the white guys, and you asked us why we were going to Thailand, and we told you we were going to get two monkeys to be our podcast slaves, it would be one of the most honorable reasons white people can go to Thailand.
They would bump us up to first class.
They go, oh my God, we're so happy to hear that you're not coming here to take advantage of a young woman.
Them, even though a permit is legally required.
Sometimes they use the monkeys. Sometimes they use the monkeys. If the coconut tree is too tall, they will use a monkey because the sticks. Okay.
But also, can you imagine the guy who had to go down to City Hall, like the old, monkey using coconut farmer who's pissed about the bureaucracy? He's like, I gotta go get a fucking permit now. We've been enslaving monkeys for 400 years to get coconuts.
I'm the meter maid in Thailand. I'm like, well, sir, I'm gonna have to leave a ticket on your monkey here. It looks like
they go to City Hall and it's a monkey who's stamping the approval for the permit. It's a monkey in a hat.
I put a boot on your monkey's leg. I mean, really, until you get paid up, sir, this monkey cannot climb this tree.
I mean, Thailand is a monarchy. They have a king. Maybe he loves monkeys. Maybe he's like replaced all the bureaucratic workers with monkeys and hats.
Am I the only one who's seeing this as as like the solution to all of our problems? I'm like, wait a second. Okay, so he's saying which of these brands use the monkeys? By the way, as always, these clips will be available in our show notes here.
Can we teach the monkeys to dig for oil?
That's what I'm saying. These guys could dig for oil. These guys could frack. These guys could work TSA. Oh my God.
Could you imagine also like the crew that went over to Thailand? And they're like, we're here to expose the corruption and the exploitation in this country. And all the child slaves are like, finally. And they're like, no. We're talking about the monkeys.
Yeah, this is what I worry about, is if we get rid of the monkey farms, I think it just means kids are going to start having to climb those trees.
Yeah, kids on chains. And Peter's like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's, that's not our jurisdiction.
Yeah, they're inherently nihilist towards humans.
This farmer who uses monkey labor said that child...
It really is an unfortunately tragic and hilarious.
This is a Curious George book. By the way, they're interviewing the man in the yellow hat right now.
Yeah.
That sells internationally audited their area. He said that no one has told them to stop using monkeys.
Okay.
They're drinking beer at this interview, by the way. Is that beer? Yeah, there's a beer on that table. This is a reporter, I guess. You call them reporters?
Yeah, I think you do. I think this is a journalist. Yeah,
a journalist, a PETA journalist is having a beer, but she's throwing it in sips of water in between.
Totally. Yeah, you want to keep a little bit of professionalism there. This guy's basically saying that no one's ever really informed him that that it was illegal to use monkeys. Now he's naming the names of the corporations he deals with.
These monkeys are leading a life of
Chapo is the name of the Thai milk company that everybody's banned today. This looks like a monkey's fucking...
It's literally a monkey in a barrel. This looks like Donkey Kong.
Is this not better than zoos, though? If this is not better than a zoo.
I mean, at a zoo, they have nothing. They have no goals.
There's no goals.
They can't, at the end of the day, they can look at their pile of coconuts and say, I accomplished something. Or, shit, you know what? When I was up in the tree earlier, I saw like a tree that I don't think the other guys could get to. Like, maybe I could get to it one of these days. Like,
even at farms previously visited. This monkey's
All right, this monkey was yawning.
Yeah, and they tried to make it look like the monkey was crying.
Yeah.
He was yawning.
Well, I do like the idea that he's working so hard that he's tired.
Also, this slave monkey's teeth are better than mine.
They're fucking. This guy might have dental.
Yeah, he looks like he's got those Adam Carolla veneers.
Can you confirm this is a slave monkey and not a showbiz monkey?
Yeah, this is a beautiful animal.
In the 1950s, this monkey was definitely like
on Ed Sullivan.
Yeah, smoking on stage with Mort Saul or something and doing a routine.
Yeah, exactly. He's spinning plates on his tail.
Shit did not go well for him. He squandered the small fortune of bananas he had.
He has natural eyeliner on.
He's beautiful.
He's a gorgeous animal.
Were extracted. This is done so that monkeys can't defend themselves. Young monkeys are torn away from their families and sent to so-called monkey schools like this one, which train them.
It's very similar to ISIS's training.
Yeah. What you can't see at home is they're actually at Florida State University. Hit the fucking button!
It's the worst hour of the week with Bryan Vokey and Ramsey Badawi.
Welcome to the show, folks. Okay, let's finish this video.
Okay, yeah. So right now we're seeing some footage of Monkey College where they major in coconut harvesting.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I feel like these monkeys got a more valuable college than me.
Coconut industry or the government to make any changes. Please
the
help
music
stop
is
the
so
exploit-
funny. Thailand is literally the home of like most of the. We're going to get into this too. Most of the world's meth production, synthetic like fentanyl, opiates, like child slavery, sex trafficking,
And Red Bull.
and Red Bull.
Kind of a fun fact to kind of throw in there. If I was the the mayor of Thailand or governor or whatever they have, king of Thailand. Yeah, he's actually. It's funny that you say that. He is one of the wealthiest people in the world. I mean, we're talking about when we talk about Jeff Bezos and we talk about all these people who like, ostensibly did something. Whatever criticism you have of Elon Musk's fucking dad or Jeff Bezos's whatever, these guys are just multi-billionaires and just didn't do shit. They were just bored.
Elon Musk is particularly impressive to me because yes, his father was a gem miner or whatever, but how many rich kids exceed their father?
Thank you for saying that. As a guy who just loves Elon Musk, I fucking love Elon Musk. I love him from from his name to the way he talks about stuff in a way that's just insufferable. I love Elon. And in a world, I came from Orange County. I knew a lot of fucking, kids whose dads basically own gem mines.
Right.
The Orange County version of that. They had a truck dealership or whatever.
Right, exactly.
They wasted the fuck away. So if
Elon has the ambition of a kid who grew up poor.
Of these monkeys by calling for Thailand's coconut industry to put an end to monkey labor. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just like maybe I don't know. Is it? Who's the sociopath here? Is it PETA for not caring about all the other shit that's going on? Or is it fucking, they're caring about the animals and not the people? For me, I'm like, can we start with the sex trafficking and all that stuff? Yeah. And then maybe the monkeys come later?
I mean...
Like, if this were the U.S.
Yeah. But you got to go with PETA's strategy. PETA's figured out that it's really about niche markets now. They're really like, look, it's not going to really work. So if we can just get in there and get enough people pissed off about the cute monkeys, that's really it. That's all we can do. I mean,
they exclusively make money off the white woman dollar.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah. So and what dollar are we making money off of?
Yeah. Look, I'm thinking about right now. All I can think about is the possibility of getting a monkey in here to do what Tyler used to do. That's all I could think of right now. Just a weird little macaque. We'll get a funny one.
Yeah, a little monkey who's like, he's like, are you using autofocus? Never use autofocus. He's manually focusing on us.
Yeah, I love that.
He's got a bow tie, maybe?
Yeah, and then basically will essentially pay for himself with just pickpockets throughout the entire...
Could we dress him up as a bellhop?
Make him walk around the house?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Open doors for me?
Hey, better than climbing a tree is what I'll say to him.
Hey, you could be in Thailand getting coconuts if you start bitching at me.
I'll say, I'll tell you what, bitch, I'll make you climb the palm trees out here in California. Yeah. Ain't no fucking coconuts up there.
Yeah, you ever masturbated without air conditioning? Huh?
I would jerk a monkey off, though. If I did enslave him, just because I think it's the coolest. It's like you as a almost primate. You might he's not gonna understand what's going on.
Yeah, no, he's just like, this is awesome. This is awesome.
He doesn't have any of the religious hang-ups and all the weird, awful things that come with being a human. So, I feel like I would try to be as cool as I could be.
Can you get a monkey to shit in a toilet? Or
I could. I would absolutely get a monkey to shit in a toilet. No problem.
That would be so cute.
It would be, not only do I think I could do it on a sort of a personal level, I think I could scale it into a business. I think I could get everyone's monkeys trained to shit into a toilet and sort of, maybe that's what we do. That you go with you don't fucking go for the gold at the gold rush.
Right.
You make pans.
Because, when you get in the business of training monkeys to shit on toilets, every year there's a new boxer who is a millionaire who will want to live with a monkey.
Exactly.
And then we got a lockdown on that.
They call it on podcast.
Yeah. When Edgar Berlanga or whatever makes his first mill, he'll be like, I got to get a monkey. That's what boxers do.
Yeah.
And then they call us in. We're like, hey, we'll get that monkey on the toilet for you.
We'll get him on the toilet, and we'll get this monkey on the toilet in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
You could
or half your money back. Got to take something. There's some expenses I got to take here. I think when it comes to shitting in a toilet, though, in Thailand, at least on some of those farms, it did not look like a major concern for them.
Yeah, that's true.
So our market would be exclusively boxers and whoever else was inhumanely owning the monkey. Although it's not a bad. Nature is not that much better. I think the monkey has to worry about like lions and
it probably not in Thailand.
Tigers maybe.
I think no. Don't they kill all the tigers to get boners or something?
Possibly. You know what? It's a good point. Tigers are. It's a dude. No rougher animal than a tiger. You've got everything going for you in terms of being tough, but people just want to capture you for some reason.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's the crux of having the most beautiful fur. Like it's like, oh man, I wish I didn't look like such a nice carpet.
Yeah.
That's a walking beautiful carpet.
Complete opposite intention of what nature wanted. Mm-hmm. Nature wanted you to be like, oh shit, look at that tiger's color. Like, stay the fuck away from him. He looks like a fire.
The two gay German guys come in and capture you and hug you in your sleep.
I really...
Which R.I.P. They're both dead now, I think.
Are they both dead?
Yeah, one of them just died from corona.
2020 is perpetually doing a special on those guys. At any given year, there's a brand new documentary that 2020 put together.
On Siegfried and Roy?
On Siegfried and Roy's behind-the-scenes relationship. You're not telling me anything I don't know. Like, everyone's like, dude, here's what you don't understand. Behind the scenes, these two were gay.
They really liked each other. And it's like behind the scenes. I think in front of the scenes, they were gay.
I'm pretty sure they were tiger prancers. They were showmen in Vegas together.
They would dress like David Bowie in the Labyrinth every night and prance around with white tigers.
It's I wish
R.I.P. to them.
R.I.P. to both of them.
Were they magicians or did they just hang out with tigers? What did they do?
It's a simpler time. I don't really know.
They like had tigers. That was you could sell out MGM Grand every night just by having a few tigers.
There's guys who, if you go down like Venice Beach here in LA, there's guys who literally make a living and they just stand on the corner with an iguana on their shoulder and they get change from people. Like, or here's me with the cobra. You ever see that guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, it's like that guy, by the way, oftentimes living on Hollywood Boulevard, there's a million versions of those guys. Mm-hmm. In the Ralphs that I have to go to on a regular
Rock
basis.
and Roll Ralphs?
Not Rock and Roll Ralphs. There's a Rock and Roll Ralphs in Los Angeles for those of you outside of the area. And it's called Rock and Roll Ralphs because it's just because celebrities go there.
I think it's because it's on the Sunset Strip and that was the hair metal area. So that was like the rock and roll strip.
I saw the actress who played Topanga in Boy Meets World there one time. Wow.
Early crush for me.
I mean, let me tell you, this woman, plastic surgery is well worth it because this woman looks perfect.
She looks like she's still in junior high.
She looks exactly not a day over 18. No. She's aged into a graceful MILF. A graceful MILF. And I said that to her. Ma'am, pardon me, ma'am.
No, I said, you know where the milk is. They're throwing you out. I'm looking for coconut. I'm looking for Chinko mouth. What Chan Cow? What was that company called?
Shikao.
I
don't know how to not pronounce the cha. Shikao, I believe.
Your go-to for any other language is just a hakalugi when you say it.
I mean, if there's no cha sound, I don't really understand what you guys are saying to each other. She was a really beautiful woman. It was really actually the only moment I was starstruck once exactly.
But I distracted you. You were going to another Ralph's, and you were talking about the Cobra guy.
Oh yeah, I go to this Ralph's that I go to on a regular basis. Dudes are just walking in there and shopping with like parrots, like big, gross, like ticks on their fucking chest,
lesions.
Parrots. And there's
actual pirate parrots.
And I'm sitting there going, I got a mask on my face. You got a mask on your face. We're all here because somebody ate a fucking pangolin. Your goddamn parrot is above the avocados. How's this legal?
Yeah.
Why is the Thai restaurant shut down?
Yeah.
But this guy is here with a fucking this is crazy.
His parrot is shitting on all the bell peppers. Yeah.
We should be just to jail that motherfucking. Like, it's insane. But
we should jail him anyway, even if there was no disease threat.
Even if there was, you
just
can't have a parrot. You can't have a parrot, dude.
I'll take parrot guy over typewriter poem guy.
Typewriter poem guy, what do you mean?
And a lot of grocery stores, I guess that's more of a Bay Area thing, but I've seen it on Venice too, is a person who will type on a typewriter, write you a poem for $1.
Is that a real thing?
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely no way would I would smash that person.
Yeah, I know.
That would literally, that would be
and then throw $400 in his face. How big of a baller move would that be?
How much money would it take for me to give you to never, ever, ever write a poem again, sir?
You smash his typewriter and peel off 5 hundos, throw it in his fucking face.
I'll write him a check. Even more of a baller move.
Yeah,
I'll do the thing where I fan it so it dries. Hand it to him. Tell him what the cash it. No, I've never seen that before. I've really only seen a couple of things. I've seen guy with parrot at the grocery store. There's also, you know what? You ever see gangbanger selling candy?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Gangbang just doesn't, that word only means porn to me in my mind.
Yeah, it takes a little bit.
So I was like, no porn star has ever sold me a Kit Kat. But yes, I have seen.
Gangbanging is a word that was co-opted completely. Yeah. Just, it's a very confusing term now. We're going to gangbang on you. Used to probably mean something cool. Now, yeah. No, but there's gangbangers selling oversized pixie stick. Yeah. That guy's always a good time.
Yeah.
What kind of wacky judge did you run into?
And they have like a really weathered, sun-beaten, laminated pitch that they're like it's a basketball team or something that they're raising money for. They don't even sell you on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just like, hey, basketball, do you want to buy some pixel?
It's a rehab Christian Covenant Center. And so basically they take me. We used to be gangbangers and now we're candy salesmen. I tell them, I go, hey, even worse drug.
Sugar?
The worst drug of them all.
Yeah.
I go, hey, you know what, man? That thing you're selling, more higher body count than your Glock, bro. Well, hey, welcome to the show, folks. Welcome to the Worst Hour Podcast, the #1 Wednesday morning podcast recorded on a Tuesday morning. My name is Ramsey Badawi. That one is a fact. You can't even question that fact. No. My name is Ramsey Badawi. That's Bryan Vokey. We are the last two American Shock Jocks. We want to thank you for tuning into another episode of the program with an E, of course. Program with an A. When I use a word, I'm using it with the most annoying spelling possible. I want you guys all to know.
Is that like a British program?
I think it's British. It's kind of like theater with like an R-E.
Yeah.
Swapped around.
Yeah.
When I say theater, understand I'm saying it that way.
Right. And when I say corn, the R is backwards.
So Bryan and I really
eyebrow.
We level each other out.
Yeah.
So my experience on public radio, not NPR, we were the only public radio station in Santa Barbara that was snubbed by NPR.
No affiliates.
They would not broadcast on our airwaves.
We were called RPR, just regional public radio.
Yeah, it was a very, very look. It was a real heated issue back in the day. Let's see here on today's show. We're gonna be discussing the Brazilian strain of COVID-19, the arrest of a man known as Asia's El Chapo. Looking forward to hearing a little bit about that. An update on the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. You say that? I don't want to get too.
Yeah, he definitely, took a misstep.
He did have there's been a problem with him. And more, of course. But first, favorite ask of you, the listener. Would you please consider joining the Patreon, where for $5 a month, not only do you get a bonus episode, but really, if you really want to look at what we do with that $5, is you put us, Bryan and Ramsey, in a position where we really don't actually have to consider monkey slave labor.
Yeah. I mean, if that monkey story, if you were mad at us, and you were like, this is absolutely inappropriate, I feel for those monkeys, then you should join our Patreon.
And that way we'll never, ever hire a monkey. But if, right now, I'll be honest with you.
We're on the ropes here.
We're in territory where it is bare minimum. I mean, we're looking at a raccoon right now. So
they have thumbs too, so I think they could maybe do some camera work.
They could do a little camera work.
Although they are nocturnal, so they're not good with lighting.
Not great with lighting, but a little on our schedule though. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I saw a raccoon the other day at like 7 p.m. Thought, look at this fucking guy, bright and early.
Yeah, getting the worm. He's actually the loser one. He slept in. Oh, yeah. He slept in until morning.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, all the trash has been taken already.
That's good. So consider joining the Patreon, $5 a month, patreon.com/WHotW. If you can't do that, give the show 5 stars, please, on the Apple Podcast app. Write us a review and show us proof of that review, worsthouroftheweek@gmail.com, and I will send you back a surprise. So I can't tell you, by the way, and this is actually true, legally, I can't tell you to leave a positive review for that reason. I can only say leave a review. I can tell you to leave a positive review, but I can't give you something in return.
Who told you this?
I'll never reveal my sources. Okay. Write the show an email, worsthouroftheweek@gmail.com. We will always read, whatever you send us. We actually had a listener write in last week. And I say listener very specifically because this person starts and closes all of their emails by making sure that they do not mention who they are.
Yeah, the first name is abbreviated, like a Kafka character.
I have to actually destroy my computer upon closing the email as per the direction. So let's see. Listener said to us, essentially, here, I'm going to abbreviate this. I prefer my dad bods way less cut with a pinch more gut.
Hello.
I actually that was just like...
Yeah, it was like, wow.
That was clean.
Yeah, he or she described me perfectly.
We're gonna bleep that out.
I said he or she.
We're still bleeping it out. It's a non-binary person.
Beep or beep.
Exactly. Now, this is a really good point, but at least QAnon shaman. QAnon shaman?
No, shaman. That's what he is. He's a QAnon shaman.
But at least QAnon shaman's not so cut that I'd suspect him of being gay and or a cheater. True story. That's a really great observation in that. And another reason why you can kind of, like, anything where I get to take my shirt off and be like, you know what? I'm looking like shit because I'm a good guy.
Right. Also,
and I'm straight. I like that.
Yeah, if you want me to start dressing nice, everybody's going to start asking questions. Yeah. But also, I like how this person who wrote this email, they say and/or, so they don't let you know.
Yeah.
Like if the gay and the cheater were two different people. I mean, there's just the amount of, like, I'm refusing to tell you anything about my life is phenomenal.
My guess is if you are
a gay boyfriend to a girl,
you're probably also cheating.
Excuse me. If you're a gay partner to a straight partner,
yeah.
Then you're probably cheating. Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably cheating. Yeah. Or you're an impressive person.
Yeah.
If you're just not
or
cheating.
You're murdering people because you're not getting your needs met.
Either way, impressive person. If you can go through with murdering somebody. Let's see. Now, our listeners really got to get into detail when it comes to certain things here. He did give himself a great disservice with that haircut. Have you seen the photos of him with a close buzz, though? Wowie, I'd actually throw his clean-shaven head some poos. Despite how much
let's hit that sentence again. Woo-wee, I'd even throw his cleanly shaved head photo some poos.
Despite how much that hairstyle reminds me of babies. As long as he doesn't show up smelling like shit or baby powder. Am I right, fellas? Listen, as far as I'm concerned, clearing all of our bases here.
They?
Sign. Well, let's get into this here. California COVID update. We've lifted our ban here. We lifted our ban. We lifted the
shutdown order.
The shutdown order. So restaurant dining, all that stuff, all those bans that were in place have been lifted here.
Essentially to stop a recall, if you ask me.
Really, no matter what you do, you're fucked if you're Gavin Newsom. I'm glad he has to deal with this because guess what, bitch? It turns out it wasn't all just being hot and shaking people's hands.
Yeah.
You had to fucking do something.
And boy, did he royally fuck up because, I mean, Not even Cuomo is threatening, is facing a recall.
Yeah.
But the thing that really, I don't want to get too serious over here, but the fact that just like mounting public pressure made him repeal all the shutdown orders means like, okay, so science hasn't been driving you at all?
No, it's never been driving. I mean, look, this is not an easy situation to manage. I'm not.
Who are you, him?
I'm the most reasonable pundit out there.
I went to get my hair cut the other day, and the old ladies who cut my hair, the hair salon. I don't go to a barbershop. I'm too intimidated by barbershops, and I'm afraid I'll walk away with a lineup, and I just don't.
Because he goes, you want me to line you up in the front, and you go like, no, but not because I don't think it looks great on you.
It looks amazing on you, but that's just not who I am. Listen, I'm like, I'm
trying to get people to look away from my hairline.
Yeah.
I feel like you lining it up is going to completely do the exact opposite.
Yeah, right now my hair looks like, Florida in 10 years from global warming.
Yeah, the coast of Florida is not going to look better if we landscape it.
Yeah. So I go there to get my hair cut, and they're shut down. They're gone. They closed. They didn't make it. And they'd been there since the 80s. And what's funny is I've talked about this on an old episode when we first started, but the people who cut my hair, every time they would speak in Spanish, and every time Gavin Newsom came on, you would hear, ay, ooh, ooh. They would say something in Spanish, and the lady, she translates everything for me. She goes, we're talking about how Gavin Newsom is really, and I'm like, I figured it out, lady.
Yeah.
But then he goes around and he shuts them down.
Yeah.
That's why this is a score for all us ugly men.
Yeah, absolutely.
To watch this beautiful man that everybody fawned over to have their livelihood ripped out by him. Stick to the ugly men.
Yeah. What was that guy who ran against Gavin Newsom? Gary? Remember?
Yeah, whatever.
Gary wouldn't have done this. Governor Gary.
Whatever.
It was like Pete. It was like Gary. Gosh, I don't know. But Gary was the first name, and that was sort of a death blow of any candidacy, if you ask me.
Politics is not for good-looking people.
It's not.
It's for the Mitch McConnells.
It's for the ugliest people on the planet to exact their revenge on not fucking during high school.
Exactly. Not some winery-owning fucking heartthrob.
Dad who's fucking an attorney for big oil.
Some gravelly-voiced Gotham City mayor-haired motherfucker.
You know what?
Who I want to have sex with.
I don't find any attraction to Gavin Newsom. I know for a fact he's got a fucking mediocre penis. I know it. I just know, looking at him, I go, there's something I can tell it's going to be disappointing.
Do you think you're unattracted to it because you guys have very similar speaking voices?
Oh, how dare you? Do we think we have the same? No, dude.
Listen, I'm going to pull up real quick a video of Gavin Newsom talking.
You know, the worst here, while you bring up that video, let's see here. While you bring up that video, I do want to make fun of one thing here in particular that he's done really badly. Have you seen this COVID California reopening tracker? I think people probably have to talk about this, but it's one of the most confusing fucking charts on the planet. Here's a picture of it right here.
So the state of California is pulled up with all the counties outlined, and most of the counties are purple.
Most of them are purple. A couple of, I would say, magenta-colored counties with one golden-colored county. Now, here's how it breaks down for the color wheel. Now, a gold means normal. If you see orange, that means moderate. That's a moderate threat of COVID-19, I think, just imminently.
just hanging around.
Creeping in the air.
In your corner. Don't know if it's going to strike.
Now, of course, what you guys are wondering is, what is magenta? Well, magenta is substantial. So it means at which point you're outside while it's magenta, it's a guaranteed 70% chance you're going to get it.
And by the way, why have the map if the entire state is purple except for 9 feet of it?
Well, here's the thing, Brian. We're not deep purple yet, because if we get deep purple, wait, we're mainly deep purple.
Yeah, we're entirely deep purple.
So deep purple, according to the California reopening tracker, means we're at a widespread with the disease right now. So great time to open up, if you ask me. Really, widespread is when you want to open up.
Well, listen, Florida's wide open, Texas is wide open, and we're way worse off. I don't know if opening up has any effect.
Well, I look, I don't know if that's true. Yeah, you're totally right. I'm saying widespread just seems like it's a weird time to.
Yeah, it's because he's about to get recalled. He doesn't give a shit about, he gave this long speech about how they anticipate in 4 weeks the ICU capacities will be above 15%. And it was just all protracted nonsense. So he was just opening up because of public pressure. But let's listen to Gavin Newsom speak real quick, and let's see if he sounds anything like my co-host here.
And you see a 9.5%, close to 10% decrease over a two-week period in ICU admissions. Again,
every time you do an impression of yourself, you go extra raspy. You are you. Just do your voice, and you will sound like him.
What? This is not my sound.
No, but if you were a little bit less animated, and you kept it here at this level.
I could never picture myself saying something that weak and cowardly.
A little bit different, but we are in a position projecting 4 weeks forward with a significant decline in the case rates, positivity rates.
He probably has that pussy-eating cancer, throat cancer.
Well, I guess that's what we both have. Oh, yeah. We do sound alike. The only thing I'm going to say that me and Newsom share in common is our prowess, our sexual prowess.
And love of wine.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, man, I'll take it. I'm happy to hear that restaurants are back open. I reserved a parking spot later this week for me and my wife's 1 year anniversary. So I'm really excited.
We're gonna eat Papa John's in a handicap spot.
Exactly.
That's the VIP table.
Well, it is tax wife, so it's not. I'm not going to go too crazy on it. You're right. It's more of a work function for me. I have her write off the whole thing when it's all said and done.
Yeah, she'll take the receipt.
It's her thing, yeah. There's a Brazilian variant of COVID-19. I guess researchers were looking at it in a microscope and they noticed it was wearing a bathing suit that made the UK variant very uncomfortable.
It's the fat ass strain.
Yeah, they're like, it's either way, female or male. They were wearing a bathing suit. It didn't really feel super comfortable with.
Right.
I don't know at this point why they even tell us about this strain. Like the strain information seems like. At this point, I don't need a play-by-play on what's going on.
No. I mean, essentially, it doesn't really affect the vaccines too much. And, they're talking about the British strain, and it by the way, somebody stole your joke.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, people.
Dude, revenge. If you could have seen Ramsey's face, there was revenge in your face when I said somebody stole your joke.
I'll say a joke on this podcast, and then oftentimes I'll just see it on the Onion, 3 weeks later with 2 million fucking things or whatever.
Somebody stole the British strain as dry and more clever or something.
I was embarrassed to say that, just so you know. If I tweet it, it means it's on. I was embarrassed to have.
But and they're like, it's more deadly, and then you look at the numbers, and it's like, say Corona kills 10 out of 100,000, this one kills 13. It's like, that's not worth reporting. You're just trying to scare people.
Yeah, I don't know. But, so at this point, I'm the reason why I brought it up is not to continue to prop the fear, but really to just say at this point, I'm just done with it. No more strains.
No more strains of anything. I've never felt the difference in weed strains. I doubt there's a difference in Corona strains.
No.
Strains is a waste of time.
Just keep it. Just let me know. Do I have it or not? Does the vaccine work or not? I tried to help my dad schedule an appointment, by the way, through the app that they're using to distribute the vaccine.
It's impossible, I heard.
We're fucked.
Yeah, California specifically.
Let's see. The Biden administration is in full transition here.
But a bump. I had a button for that, but I didn't want to do it to you.
Well, I didn't even mean to do that, though.
Oh.
That was just a natural segue. I guess I didn't even realize it. The Biden administration, well, they've really hit the ground running here on doing things that don't actually fucking matter, but
in the moment,
but actually have some kind of a bigger significance. They've overturned Trump's decision on the trains in the military, trans women, non-binary,
ban. You weren't allowed to enlist in the military if you were transgender.
Which is
an insane law because it's basically ew.
It's truly insane. It's truly insane. We should never be on the same page as the Taliban's army on anything.
Oh.
If we ever have a defense point of view that's aligned with the Taliban, we really have to go all right, let's look back on this one. Plus, by the way, if we're kicking ISIS's ass, I want a trans person over there fucking just
really shake their head up.
I want them really fucked up about things. And they're I don't know.
It makes it a much more interesting culture war. We are bringing an entirely new culture to you.
You just literally got shot by a dude that was born a woman. Go fuck yourself. Don't ever fuck with America. Although we technically fucked with you, and that's why we're here in the first place.
Yeah, but still fuck you, bitch.
But still fuck you. So, I'm all for that one. It's also, but again, God bless. I'm also one of the things that I can't imagine being, a hugely impactful issue. I mean, we're looking at 1.1% of the population. Like, it's a pretty small number.
Yeah, it's. But I imagine he was just like, "Hey, overturn this," and somebody drew it up and he signed it. I mean,
that's an easy one. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And I'm not. But I guess the point that I'm making is it's just a checklist of things where it's like we're getting trans people back in the military. We're putting Harriet Tubman on the 20. Which in that itself is also a weird thing. What's the rules for putting people on money?
Yeah, I don't understand. Does that have to get approved by Congress?
I don't. Well, it's like, is it presidents? Is it just kind of generally cool?
So far, it's all presidents except Franklin.
So again, fair enough. Like, you're going to put Harriet Tubman on it. Fair enough. I don't know why.
Susan B. Anthony's on there.
She has like she has a silver dollar.
And Sacagawea is on there too.
Yeah,
so this seems like it's complete chaos.
The Sacagawea thing is a novelty. Like, every time you try to use one of those dollars, somebody bites into it.
Yeah,
like,
you can hold
it up to a sun. Yeah,
you can only buy it like late night. And it's like Wilford Brimley or somebody is selling you the.
It's not real. I don't know what the rules are and why Harriet. It's just Harriet Tubman. Like, we're just gonna go with a generally recognizable woman of color. Like, did she ever do anything in the government, or does it matter, or what are the rules? I just want to know.
I don't know. I think Frederick Douglass had her over at the White House one time.
Frederick Douglass, the first. Who's the first African American Supreme Court justice?
That's Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall.
Frederick Douglass is a emancipated slave.
I was just, by the way, about to walk into an Ann Coulter talking point, and I literally saw it. I went, Thurgood Marshall. What's wrong with Thurgood Marshall? And I remembered Ann Coulter always, like, every single Black holiday. Ann Coulter's like, why isn't Thurgood Marshall being celebrated? You can't ever be happy with
Ben
anything.
Carson.
Yeah.
What's wrong with having a living guy on the money? That's kind of cool. Imagine how he would feel.
All right. Well, I'll reverse it. I'll reverse it on that. What about other significant women of color? What if you put Oprah on the 20? Statistically, she has the most, so it makes sense.
The most 20s?
Whoever's got the most 20s should be on. I'm okay with these rules. That's a rule I can fucking live with. It is brilliant on Biden's part, though, to be like, all right, we're gonna print up a bunch of 20s with Harriet Tubman's face on it, and then we're just gonna shovel it into white bankers' hands.
Yeah, exactly. They don't give a shit who the face is on there. I don't care. Put a fucking cricket player on there. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. Warren Buffett, Bezos.
It still spends, right?
Fuck. They don't give a fuck.
Also, the elite, they're like, I haven't touched money since the 80s.
I mean, I'm going to turn it to Bitcoin. So yeah. We know you're worthless money. We're working on our future money right now.
When's the last time Warren Buffett peeled a paper dollar bill out of his wallet?
No, absolutely.
Those people don't pay for anything.
No. So, I mean, God bless them. Diet Coke button. Did you see this? That there was a Diet Coke button.
Yeah, originally there's a red button in the Oval Office on the president's desk, and it used to be for emergencies. And then Obama changed it to bring tea.
Yeah, kind of a bit. That's a good bit. Yeah, to be it used to be used for emergencies. Now I use it for tea.
And people, because there's a story of people like in Obama's office looking at the red button, and he would just go and press it, and they would bring tea. But apparently Trump took it to a whole nother level.
Well, Trump thought, I guess when he came into the office, he probably was like, "Well, I'm certainly not going to do that."
Tea?
Yeah. What am I in Parliament?
Yeah.
So Diet Coke does make sense to bring it in on some real shit. Where you're like, I do think in the White House, Coke should be served.
On a silver tray.
Silver tray. I would do tit milk. You hit the button,
but she has to pour it out of her tit right in front of you.
I got like the French ambassador. I got a bunch of people over here.
But apparently Trump would like act panicked. He would like take a fake phone call.
Yeah.
And act panicked and then be like, oh no, and then just press the red button on a guest. Oh, and then somebody would come in with a Coke and he would die laughing.
He's funny, man. That's funny as fuck.
Every time I hear these stories, though, because they all come out in books where they would be like, he would make a prank and he would die laughing. And I'm like, I have never seen him laugh once. So I'm like, are these stories true, or are they like just propaganda stories?
No, man, I've seen it before on the back end. Like, there's a video you can watch online. It's a deposition that he gave in court. It's like a 55-minute long video. It was filmed.
You love depositions.
Oh, I love a deposition because part of depositions is no fancy cameras, no good sound.
No, the microphone's always rustling.
It's a rustling. To me, it's like I feel the same way when I listen to a deposition as I do when I jerk off to amateur porn. Right, where you're like, this is the real deal. Like,
they are really doing this.
This is court. Like, you want to fucking talk about this is not, Oliver Stone is not behind the camera.
Right.
You know, so he's giving a deposition about a Food Network. So there's a Food Network judge. Host.
Food Network judge. I'm sure it exists.
He's a restaurateur, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but he's like a Food Network guy.
Right,
Jeffrey Zakarian is his name. And essentially, when
all respect to him,
all respect to
no
Mr.
issues. I love his work. I love his show.
Without a question. Although I have a feeling that based on the frames that this gentleman wears, that many of the community he's a part of would not be a fan of him.
I took a sip and you said that IAN and I went gulp.
But he basically, when Trump ran for office, broke a lease or something like that, and you know, so there was an issue. So Trump's giving his deposition, and he's talking for 50 minutes, and I'm going, this guy is really subdued.
Yeah.
This guy really knows when to not say the thing. He knows when to like kind of turn it on a little bit. I almost want to say he's secretly way more charismatic than he is publicly.
So that in my mind, that makes him all the more evil.
It makes him kind of evil.
Yeah.
I think he might actually be smarter than people think he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I also think he is like all the things that people think he is.
Yeah.
But I think he's also, you know.
So his tone's different. It's like when first time I ever heard the guy who played Kevin from The Office speak.
Yes, yeah.
Entirely
You're like,
different
he
voice.
doesn't sound like this.
Yeah, I lost it, dude. I almost shit my pants.
It's very similar. It's very similar. You got to watch it. I'll link it in the show notes. I will. It's so good.
Yeah.
So he has those moments. We look forward to seeing what he does. He just opened up the official office of the former president. I don't know if that's the first time anyone's ever done that in history.
Well, he was calling the office of the president-elect illegitimate, saying that's not even.
Yeah.
No, and then he immediately opens an office of former president.
Which, by the way, it turns out was a real thing.
Yep.
That was a real thing, which we thought was not a real thing.
Clinton had that office in Harlem after he got out. Remember that was a big deal that he went to Harlem?
Did he do the same thing? So that's why I've approached this situation with a little more caution.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if anyone's ever does. It makes sense to me. He's at the office of the former president.
Yeah.
You know, you want to send your pen pal mail or whatever. What kind of a nutbag would just write a letter to the office of the former president thinking Trump was going to read it?
I mean, the people who arrested the Capitol truly believed they were going to get pardoned.
Yeah.
So I think they would probably write a few letters.
Here's my suggestion. If you're dying to write somebody a letter, write a prisoner a letter.
Yeah.
Write Chris Watts a letter.
Scott Peterson, who stole my fucking unemployment.
Yeah, Scott Peterson. Yeah, write somebody who's on death row. Might have something interesting to say to you. Maybe they'll fucking clue you in on some evidence that is exculpatory.
Who's that guy who founded the Bloods or the Crips or whatever? That was
Tukey.
Yeah, Tukey.
He's dead. He's gone. He's gone. Yeah, they killed him. They killed him when I was in like 8th grade. I remember it was weird that they would like really talk about that on TV a lot. Like, all right, we're standing out the courthouse. They're going to execute Tukey Williams. All right. Like,
you're like, wait, that's usually what happens in my summers.
Yeah.
Not in my winters.
Yeah. Is that him?
Am I in Palestine or am I?
Yeah, it was bizarre.
Oh, by the way, another, just on this Biden thing, another symbolic kind of not that important measure he took. He said that he's going to seek a two-state solution. He said the only way Israel can remain a Jewish whatever state is if Palestine gets its own state.
Yeah.
And then in the article itself, the reporter who was, or the White House press secretary, whatever, ended on, but we really don't expect it to happen. but the headline says Biden will seek two-state solution.
Two-state solution, East Israel and West Israel.
Yeah.
West will suck, and it'll be full of Arabs.
It's just like in Germany. East Germany stunk.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like the two-state. So the state solution isn't really the issue here. It's well, let me see the terms here.
Right. Yeah.
I could really carve up a two-state solution right now. I don't know if everyone will be thrilled about it.
Right. You could do a two-state. You could have put Israel in Europe right next to Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And that would have been a two-state solution. Something tells me still there would be some bloodshed.
Are you giving a speech at the mosque? I've heard that at the mosque several times. Yeah, you and I are officially. 100% have heard people at the mosque say versions of that, where it's like, if they wanted to give them, why not just give them a piece of Germany? Doesn't that make the most sense? By the way, that's a very progressive viewpoint. Like, well, then that's an acknowledgement that the Holocaust happened. So
yeah, exactly.
That's a pretty good progressive viewpoint from where I came from. Kyle Rittenhouse, speaking of progressive.
Yeah, speaking of Nazi Germany.
Kyle Rittenhouse, a judge ruled that Kyle Rittenhouse, while awaiting arraignment, cannot consume alcohol or associate with white supremacists.
So Kyle Rittenhouse is the Kenosha killer. He's the guy who drove up to Kenosha to I don't know why, to shoot people, I guess.
This is where everybody's talking about how the guy defended himself, didn't defend himself, whatever the situation is. It's like he should be in jail for deciding to show up with a gun.
Yeah,
period.
He drove across state lines to go to a Kenosha Black Lives Matter protest and ended up killing how many people? 1 or 2?
He killed a couple of pedophiles.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was another right-wing thing we fell for.
I think one of them was a pedophile, though. I really did think.
Really?
Nonetheless, allegedly, Alvin's attorney.
Yeah, and then the internet, I want to look up the exact number. The internet raised his bail, and he's doing well because he did that.
I actually think I pulled it up. He's out on a $1 million, $2 million bond conditions, which I looked up because I knew that you're gonna kick in with how much is that on
$200,000 bail?
So it's 10%. Around that 10%. So
the fundraising for Kyle Rittenhouse. Nearly $1 million has been raised for him. Luckily I read that headline quick before Business Insider blocked me.
Everything is just doing this now, right? They're getting the technology on blocking people from reading the news is hilarious. It's getting faster and better. Yeah. I mean, it's it's really becoming a problem for me now. Where every time I click an article, somebody else has a new paywall.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's how many subscriptions am I expected to have? HBO Max, HBO Go, Business Insider. I mean, I'm turning into an old man.
But the idea that I'm gonna be I pay for news from the New York Times and CNN. It's what?
It's the same thing.
So Kyle Rittenhouse was released, I guess on January 5th. Oh, no, I apologize. Was released early January. On January 5th, he was seen at a right-wing group at a Wisconsin bar, drinking.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Proud Boys there.
Bunch of Proud Boys wearing a T-shirt that read "Free as fuck." Which that's a rough. That's rough.
I don't understand why you would antagonize. You've murdered 2 people, and 75 million people in the country have your back. They like you. Why would you push it?
It's especially when your point of view shouldn't be that I'm free. I killed a guy in self-defense. You should listen. Even if you're fucking thrilled that you killed somebody, you should play that close to the vest.
Yeah. Every time somebody says something, you'd be like, I hate that I had to do it.
I hate that I had to do it. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I every night I close my eyes and I think of the victim's family. That kind of stuff.
Yes.
It's not a free as fuck shirt.
No.
You should be a remorseful as fuck shirt.
And then he was given a white power sign.
Yeah, I didn't. I never understood why the OK sign was the white power. Do you know why?
W.
The W and then the P.
Yeah.
I never understood it. I thought it was because it was hey, whites are okay.
Because it's the least cool sign you could do with your hand.
It is.
So that makes it super white. Where it's hey, okay, buddy.
Dude, for I thought when I figured out okay was what you could do with your hands, blew my fucking mind. That was game-changing shit.
I feel like white power should be the Star Trek, I can't do it, but where you split your fingers in half.
Oh, like this thing?
Yeah, like the least cool white thing you could do.
Or white power could be the okay sign below your waist, right? Because now anybody who's engaging in that kind of toxic masculinity. Did you guys do that in Georgia? Of course, right?
Dude, yeah.
Did you guys do?
I fell for it every time because I'm so nervous, and when things move around me, I have to trace it.
I fell for it all the time because I was constantly looking at people's dicks,
try to see the outlines, see what they were working with,
see what the competition out there was looking like. Rittenhouse was at a bar drinking with these guys, and by the way, it was legal for him to be at the bar because in Wisconsin, an 18-year-old can drink at a bar as long as his mother was there with him. That is a legal ruling of some sort.
What the hell century is it?
Yeah, that's it. It's like if the terrorists' parents were there on the 9/11 hijacking flight, I wouldn't say it was okay. So I'm not sure why it's okay for them to drink. If it's illegal, it's illegal. Like your mom being there shouldn't have anything to do with that.
It's fine that you're a Nazi murderer, as long as you're here with your mother.
I don't want to say, you know me, dude. Nobody hates saying white privilege more than I do. Nobody thinks it's more of a myth. It's rough though. If you're out on bond after a murder charge, chugging beers with your mom in a bar, it's rough, dude. It's a rough image, man.
I don't understand how you could think that's a myth given your cultural heritage, where you are a brown person who culturally are next to just being dominated by white people.
Look, man.
And the rest of the world supports the white people that are dominating you.
You know what, dude? If I say otherwise, we lose 15 Patreons.
You're right. I'm sorry. I don't. You're right. I apologize.
The Asian El Chapo was arrested. There's a little video here. I think we can check it out, get a little background info. This is a guy you're into.
Yeah, I'm super into him. I gotta say, there's no more disrespectful nickname than just being called like the Chinese version of a fucking big drug dealer.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
He's a kingpin. He is head of a $61 billion drug syndicate, and they still just call. Well, I was thinking it's just the A and the O. Well, what about El Chapo?
El Chapo.
Like karate chop.
Oh, okay.
It's a little tough because it sounds El Chapo.
Yeah.
It's hard to hear.
It's a bit hard to hear. Yeah. I mean, what part of Asia is he from? Isn't it? So
he's Southern China.
Southern China. Okay.
Guangzhou.
Yeah, all right. I'll see if I can come up with a good nickname
El
for him.
Karate Chapo? That's too long.
It's a little disrespectful.
to a man who's destroyed half the world with meth.
I like how your version of it is not even any better. You're like, we're still going to use the El Chapo thing, but we're going to be racist about it. What about El Chapo Sui? Maybe?
Chop Suey?
Yeah. That's not my name. That's not my pick.
If you're not allowed to disrespect this guy, who are you not? You know what I mean?
No. Don't get me wrong. It's not a racist thing. I just don't think that mine.
I'm yelling at an imaginary listener in my head who's rolling their eyes at me. I'm not yelling.
Somebody who got this far into the podcast and then has that complaint about you.
Biggest crime syndicate and one of the world's most wanted men has been arrested in the Netherlands, with Australian authorities pushing Sunday for his extradition to face trial.
This is from
Police had been
NTV.
Chasing alleged drug kingpin.
Okay, hip hop.
Look
at his picture.
He's a badass,
dude. He fucking rules, man. He looks like he kind of looks like the. Wait, is that him? Because that guy.
That's El Chapo. They start the thing with El Chapo. He's so literally the headline says Asian El Chapo. That is just.
I will say,
nicknames.
El Chapo is also a guy who was really unimpressive to look at. Like when you saw El Chapo, it was kind of a bummer.
He's no Gavin Newsom. I think that picture is going to come up in a second.
Yeah, this guy, C-Chop, he's got a picture of him in like a robe.
His name is Say Chilop.
Say Chilop. He looks fucking great right here, man. He looks fucking like a badass.
He's got an old-fashioned like shotgun behind him on the wall. He's wearing a silk robe. Apparently, he lost they say he lost $66 million on a bet, like for nothing, just in a casino.
Dude, this guy fucking rocks, dude.
He had 8 trained Thai kickboxer bodyguards with him at all times.
In general, you really don't want to be in the Mexican like cartel drug market. You want to be in the Asian drug market. There's 2 billion people on your fucking continent.
Well, actually, what he did is he found out that New Zealand and Australia, they had a little more money.
Yeah.
And they were willing to pay like really high rates for meth. So he was like selling high-end prices to meth to Australia and New Zealand, which is New Zealand. Have you ever heard that accent? I can't do it, but listening to somebody from New Zealand on meth must be like meth. This methamphetamines quite present. Like it's got to be the worst sounding.
It's like, dude, I already need you to slow down a little bit for me to understand. I've never watched Flight of the Conchords for that reason. I can't watch it.
I hate that accent. But yeah, so he made most of his money in New Zealand and Australia.
I'm thinking about moving to that region in general. South China, the Indochina Sea.
They call it the something triangle, which is Myanmar, Thailand, and South China, and that's where like all the drugs are made.
I'd love to get in there, work as a sort of a broadcaster out in that market. It's probably emerging. I probably would be one of the best broadcasters there.
I think you want to stay out of Myanmar.
I feel like I could get in my look. I could be controlled opposition.
Oh, okay, because there is a Muslim genocide.
Oh, I could go to Indonesia though.
yeah. Indonesia is better because all I know about Myanmar is that's where like most of the world's meth's made, and there's a Buddhist-led Muslim genocide.
My buddy who is Indian, grew up Muslim, told me that like in the Indian communities and a lot of the non-Arab communities, when there's an Arab Muslim, they look to them Arabs. Like they wish they were like the Arabs. Indonesia is one of the places that cracks me up the most because they wish they were like, but it's such a nicer place. I'm like,
there's like rainforest, just beautiful multicolored birds flying around,
nonstop commerce going back and forth. People, it's like a big. You're talking about like multi-million.
I like what we say is beautiful. I'm like, there's beautiful birds and coconuts, and you're like, there's nonstop commerce.
There's tall buildings, people making calls, hanging up. You know,
I'm like, there's geckos, and you're like, Gordon Gecko would do well there.
But I could go to Indonesia and really play up that angle. Maybe I could be like an Islamic preacher on Indonesian AM radio.
So this guy, El Chapo Asia, he started out in a gang called the Circle Boys, the Big Circle Boys. And the gang he started out with was started by 4 imprisoned guards who were imprisoned under Mao. And then they were like red guards.
What a great thing to have on your resume. Mao Zedong jailed me for a little while.
That's where I started my meth outfit.
Yeah.
While I was in a fucking red prison.
I mean, who could blame me?
And then he went to Canada, and he became a big-time heroin dealer. He got busted in the U.S. smuggling. He started from the ground. He was smuggling heroin into the U.S. himself. Got arrested, went to jail for 6 years. Gave the judge a sob story. Said that my mom is sick, my son is sick, everybody was sick. And he was like, I just want to start a Chinese restaurant, and I'll be good, if you just let me out. So they let him out, and then he became one of the biggest drug dealers in the history of the world.
Dude, this guy, how old is he?
58.
58 years old, and to have that type of... I mean, we're talking about a guy who might be worth more than the Thai king. He might...
Nobody knows.
It's not like he has any fucking books.
Yeah. And but apparently he revolutionized how drugs and the culture of drug dealing, where like he offered a deal. Love this.
Yeah, I love this so much, dude. I love this.
If a shipment was seized of meth, he would give you an exact equal shipment, no charge, no extra charge.
I mean, so kind of an Amazon situation. So they were not like no questions asked, refund, and so you felt comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And although there was one gang that was quote unquote losing their shipments a lot, and so they ended up putting blowtorches to feet and cattle prodding people.
Well, yeah, that's the risk you take sometimes when you try to return too many things on Amazon or fuck with C. Chupley.
Right, but he ran it with like a corporation. There wasn't a lot of that torture stuff going on. Everything was like money back guaranteed. Everything was very polite. It was very anti how it is in Mexico, where people are just slaughtering each other in the streets everywhere. Yeah. They kind of looked at it he looked at it like he ran a global corporation.
Why not call him Chilapo? Like instead of El Chapo, Chilapo. I guess that's just too confusing.
It's too confusing because, but you know what his real nickname is Sam Gore or Sam Gore?
That was the company that he operated.
Yeah, that was named after his nickname.
Sam Gore?
Yeah,
that's a great name.
It's a great nickname. Yeah.
Sam Gore? Are you kidding me? I would vote for that guy for president.
They also call him T1.
Dude, this guy's got a lot of better nicknames than the Asian El Chapo.
I know, it's so disrespectful.
Americans are just dumb, and they need to hear shit like that where they're like,
wait, what is he? He's a drug dealer. I don't understand. He's a kingpin drug dealer. What are you saying? He's like a Chinese El Chapo. Well, why didn't you say that?
Yeah, well, when you put it that way, you're right. It did make it a little bit clearer to me personally.
What the hell is a kingpin?
I like that. I gotta get the hell out of here, man. So let's wrap this bad boy up. It's been a great show. If you please do us a huge favor, join our Patreon, patreon.com/WHOTW. Hey, $5 a month. It means nothing to you. It means everything to us. Give us 5 stars on the Apple Podcast app. Give us a great review. Snap us a picture of that review, positive or negative, but probably positive would be better for you. And I will send you back a wonderful treat.
Let's just say things will go a lot better for you.
Things will go a lot better. I can't talk too specifically about it. Otherwise, we'd be breaking a couple of laws.
Yeah, if it is less than 5 stars, I would imagine that, perhaps something could not work out well for you.
Let's just say the word treat, by definition, is flexible, depending on which type of review you leave us. Follow Bryan across all social media platforms at Bryan J. Vokey on Twitter, at Mr. Bryan Vokey on Instagram. Follow me at Ramsbad on Twitter and Instagram. Big Ass Ram Dog on TikTok. Y'all are coming. Bryan's building his TikTok page. It should be we should be launching it pretty soon.
We're doing a soft launch soon. I'll put that on the Patreon.
Just donors. The TikTok will initially...
Investors, donors, patrons, that's about it.
Ground floor investors, that's really it. So another great reason really to join the Patreon if you really think about it. Let's see. Join our, follow the show across all social media platforms at Worst Hour Pod. Write us an email, worsthouroftheweek@gmail.com. We love reading your weird, horny emails. They make me so horny. And let's see, in addition to that, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Videos coming back very, very soon. I promise, as soon as this move is over. Check out the show notes for any relevant links. Let's see, other than that, Bryan, you got anything?
No, sir.
And okay, if you got nothing else to say, I got nothing else to say. On behalf of me, Bryan, Joni, the dog, and everybody here at the Worst Hour Nation, peace be on to the prophet.
All right, long live Joni and the Chinese El Chapo.
Coming in hard with the depravity you see. This is the worst hour of the week. Reaching new lows with Bryan and Ramsey. This is the worst hour of the week. Worst hour of the week.
Thank you for listening to the Worst Hour of the Week with Bryan Vokey and Ramsey Badawi. Peace be unto the prophet.